SABC, host broadcaster of the G20 South Africa 2025.
All right, welcome back, everybody. Let's just give you a little bit of background in terms of the G20 and what's been under discussion since we took over that presidency, which we took, of course, we handed over, the baton was handed to us by Brazil. And by the way, Brazil should be arriving in South Africa probably just after 9 o'clock this morning. So that will be quite a big moment as well that we'll hopefully bring to you live. But let's have a look and see what's going on. And these are just some of the Sherpa tracks, the focus areas that the leaders have been focusing in on. When I say leaders, I mean the Sherpas, those that come and represent the country. So agriculture, anti-corruption, climate, the digital economy, education, employment, energy, environment, health, tourism, trade and investment. So these are the focus areas, and we break down into each one of them, lots of discussions happening, and this is what you hope that at the end of it all, we will find that will be that final declaration that is signed by all of the nations in terms of what they want to achieve through all of this. So these are the different engagement groups that we've been seeing taking place. We've been shortening it as they do, Business 20, which is B20. We saw that. We even saw the president speaking at it yesterday. Then there was the C20, that's the Civil 20, the Labour 20, Parliament 20, Science 20, SAI 20, the Startup 20, Think 20, Urban 20, the W20, that's the Women 20, and the Youth 20 as well. So those are just some of the engagement groups that have been a part of it and makes up the Leaders Summit. Let's take a look at this now. And this is the finance track. And what's quite interesting is you may remember back at when actually it all began, the whole gathering of the nations, the G7 at the time when it was back after the financial crisis in Asia. It was the finance ministers that were actually getting together from the nations, and that it has evolved, and it did evolve at the time into where the presidents actually joined in there. But the finance track is still a major issue, especially in a world that has got such high debt, and the financial crisis is something that every country is grappling with, but trying to, as the president explains it, finds these green shoots. But these are what the finance track are focusing in on: framework, international financial architecture, infrastructure, sustainable finance, global partnership of financial inclusion, joint finance and health task force, international taxation issues, and financial sector issues. So that's the finance track. And then the last one, let me bring you this one, is basically a general overview, because I think it's very important that people understand the basics of what's going on here. I know we focus so much between what's happening behind the scenes and I suppose the juicy bits in terms of who's getting on with who and who isn't getting on with who's saying what, but the reality is there is so much happening behind the scenes. And this is what's important in the overview of it all. It's an international forum, everybody's coming together. It's a mixing of developed and developing countries, and that's what's important, because you've got a mix of countries that are in the room that are going to be speaking to one another, and of course those that are invited to attend as well, and there are many of those countries. And global economic solutions are what are hoping to be achieved from all of this as everybody gets together and discusses matters. So that's just to give you an overview of what the G20 is really all about and the essential issues that are going to be discussed. All right, let's quickly take a break. We'll bring you more discussions after this about some of these things we've covered, as well as other issues that are around the G20 Leaders Summit taking place and starting tomorrow.